Blessed is the kingdom of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, now and ever, and unto ages of ages. Amen.
Let's explore what Christmas is. The true definition of Christmas is not Santa Claus coming from the North Pole in a sled pulled by reindeer on a world quest to give presents to all the good boys and girls. Santa Claus is actually Coca-Cola's version of Saint Nicholas, which happened to be a 4th century Greek bishop who was also a generous gift giver. Among Santa Claus, there are various traditions, expressions, and songs we commonly use to celebrate Christmas. Yet, we must first look beyond the tree ornaments, the wrapped-up presents, or the mistletoe, and focus more on the Mass of Christ, Christmas, which is what it literally means, Christ Mass, the Mass of Christ. For those who opt to say Happy Holidays, thinking they can avoid possible religious implication of saying Merry Christmas, it bodes well to remember that the word holiday comes from the Old English meaning of holy day. Christmas is a holiday, a holy holiday, that only recently has been celebrated in the fashion we have come to recognize today, and recently meaning roughly the last 1,000 years. Most reference Christmas Day as the 25th of December. That wasn't always the case though. Before the Orthodox and Catholic churches, Christians were united by one church, the Church of Christ. In the early days of the church, Christians focused less on Christ's actual birthday, and they put more emphasis on Epiphany, known to many as THEOPHANY. Many call Epiphany Theophany. Both words actually mean the exact same thing. Theophany is Greek for the word epiphany. Epiphany means a revelation. So Epiphany is the celebration of when Christ revealed himself to humans, that he in fact was the Son of God. So why and when was the emphasis of Epiphany and Christmas changed? And what are their connections to each other? The actual day of the birth of Christ remains a mystery. There have been no exact dates placed on when the Virgin Mary gave birth to Christ our Savior. The first time Christmas was celebrated on the 25th of December was in the year 336. Several years later, Pope Julius I declared that the birth of Christ would be on this date, so December 25th stuck. Prior to this, Christmas had been celebrated on the 7th of January, the day after New Epiphany, also known as the day Christ revealed himself as the Son of God. Christ's ministry began when he revealed himself to humans, that he is the Son of God, which is why January 6th had such an important significance to the early Christians. December 25th was chosen because people wanted a separate day to celebrate Christ's birth. For Orthodox Christians, Epiphany is a time when priests bless the water in honor of the baptism of Christ. In many ethnic traditions, a holy cross dive is common, with many entering rivers, oceans, or lakes as a symbolic reenactment of the baptism of Christ by St. John. Parishioners participating are given the baptismal water in small bottles to take home. The priest will soak a bushel of basil or rosemary and bless his parishioners during the Epiphany liturgy. Plants or flowers which can hold water well and not bend easily are chosen depending on the priest. Basil has Orthodox significance because it was the plant that was found under the cross on which Christ was crucified. Whether you celebrate Old or New Christmas, Epiphany is always occurring 12 days after Christmas. For those who celebrate Christmas according to the new calendar, December 25th, they would celebrate Epiphany on the 6th of January, which just so happens to be the day before Old Calendar Christmas. Those celebrating Old Calendar Christmas would celebrate Epiphany on the 19th of January. So why are there two Christmases? It's not like Christ was born twice. When the Great Schism occurred in the year 1054, the Western Roman Empire, commonly known as the Catholics, decided to celebrate Christmas on the 25th, while the Eastern Byzantine Empire, commonly known as the Orthodox Christians, remained with the idea that the 7th of January should be the real date of Christmas. Over the years, Orthodoxy in certain countries have adopted different dates. For example, Orthodox Romanians and Greeks celebrate New Christmas. while Serbians and Russian Orthodox celebrate Old Christmas. Today, most of the world uses the Gregorian calendar, originally implemented by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582. Prior to that, the Julian calendar, named after Julius Caesar, was used. When the switch was made, 10 days were lost. Nevertheless, many Orthodox and Coptic churches still use the Julian calendar to celebrate the Mass of Christ. Most felt that using the new calendar would cheat them out of those days between Old and New Christmas. Although these dates have little significance, since time is an instrument created by man, what is important is that whenever we celebrate Christmas, we should remember that we are celebrating the real event of Christ's birth, which happened 2,000 years ago, and that God sent His Son into the world as a Christmas present for all mankind. For those who are fortunate to experience New Epiphany on the 6th of January and Old Christmas the following day, will understand how wonderfully connected the liturgies are and how the early Christians celebrated the original Mass of Christ. These feasts, which have been divided over the years, are essentially one, together, with Jesus Christ our Savior. So next time you see Frosty the Snowman melting or the Grinch attempting to steal Christmas, take a moment and remember the true meaning of Christmas. Celebrate and reflect why this season is joyous, and give thanks for the greatest gift the world could ever know. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a blessed night.